presents I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to a brand new series of I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. Today we're coming to you from the ancient and splendid Theatre Royal in Windsor, which I was interested to learn has been frequented by an impressive succession of queens. Anyway, it's a charming theatre full of history, and everywhere you look there are fascinating reminders of a vanished comic era. Let me introduce you to four of them. On my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden. And on my right, Willie Rushton and Tim Brooke-Taylor. Our scorer tonight is a lovely lady who's taken the opportunity of our visit here to have a rewarding poke around the back streets. A very warm hand, please, for Samantha. Right, teams, our first round is called Complete Song Lyrics, and it celebrates the work of the lyricist. Men like Peter Skellen and Richard Stilgoe, who I understand are revered by Mexicans for their sheet music. In this game, teams, I shall read out the first lines of some well-known songs. I'd like you to complete them. Tim, here's yours. Mad dogs and Englishmen go...
Woof, woof, bring back Maggie.
Willie, this is your line. MacArthur's Park is melting through the dark. All the sweet...
Humphrey Lyttelton's words are spoken by an actor.
MacArthur's Park is melting through the dark, all the sweet green icing flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think I can take it, because it took so long to bake it, and I'll never see that recipe again. Oh...
Bugger.
Barry Cryer. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue, I can...
See that there are always bits of tomato in it.
Oh, dear.
Graeme Garden, here's yours. When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me.
She said, son, you'll be a bachelor boy.
And Tim, back to you now. Nellie the elephant packed her trunk and said goodbye to the...
Therapist. I think I know what I mean, but not so.
Willie, how's this? Got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living doll.
Anyone got a bicycle pump?
Barry, didn't we have a lovely time the day we went to Bangor?
But she wasn't in.
Graeme. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with string.
We'll now be liable for VAT.
We're now going to move on to a complicated round called One Song to the Tune of Another, in which the tune of one song and the words of another are brought together and combined as if they were both one song. It's hard to get your head round that at first, but if you try to think of it as one song without the tune, but with the words, to the tune of another song, but without the words, it may help. Teams, to accompany you, I'm sure we'd all like to welcome our brand new pianist. But until he's provided, we'll just have to make do with our old one. Here's Colin Sell. Tim, I'd like you to sing the words of I'm Too Sexy to the tune of La Donna e Mobile.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
And I'm sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York and Japan. Keep up, Colin, and I'm too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party. Away, I'm disco dancing, I'm a model, you know what I mean, and I do my little turn on the catwalk.
Barry, I'd like you to sing the words of I Love Paris in the Springtime to the tune of Dvorak's Humoresque.
I love Paris in the springtime, I love Paris in the fall, I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year.
Graeme, it's your turn, and you're going to sing the words of Come Into the Garden, Maud, to the tune of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Come in to the garden, Maud, for the black bat night has flown. Come in to the garden, Maud, I am here at the gate alone. I am here at the gate alone, and the woodbine spices are wafted abroad, and the musk of the rose is blown for a breeze of morning doves, and planet of love is on the high, beginning to faint in the light that she loves on a bed of daffodil sky, to faint in the light of the sun. She loves to faint in the light and to die. Come, come, come into the garden, Maud, for the black night. Come, come, come into the garden, Maud, for the black night has flown. Oh, yeah.
Well, Graham's leapt into the lead with that one. And Willie, I'd like you to sing the words of the Laughing Policeman to the tune of As Time Goes By.
So would I.
I know a fat old policeman, he's always on our street, a fat, jolly red-faced man. He really is a treat, he's too kind for a policeman. He's never known to frown, and everybody says he's the happiest man in town. Ha, 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 ha. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, whoa, ho, ho. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. Ha, 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 ha. Sit up.
And with the final dash, Willie goes into the lead now with 23 points. Oh, good. It's now time for a new round called Lyttleton Country. While twiddling my radio knob one afternoon in search of oral gratification. Who writes this down? While twiddling my radio knob one afternoon in search of oral gratification, I happened upon the new Radio 4 programme Anderson Country and was delighted to double its audience figures. For those of you who haven't experienced this programme's rare charm, I'd like to instigate our own version. In it, I shall be taking calls from all over the country on the subject of radio phone-ins, and I'd like you teams to be the callers. Before we start, you should know that I shall be awarding bonus points for authentic regional accents. And our first caller is Barry from Newcastle. What's your point, please, Barry?
Well, I've just moved here from Bognor, and and these jolly Geordies are really the salt of the earth. But what I was ringing was this current debate about women priests. Because my main interest is, should male priests be allowed to marry each other? And I've always thought, certainly, if they love each other. And furthermore, what? Yes, Hinny, I'm just coming down the kitchen new.
Pet.
Well, that's very interesting. I've got to cut you off now, I'm afraid.
I had it done years ago.
Next on the line, we have Graeme from Glasgow. Go ahead, please, Graeme.
Hello, Humph. I'm going to follow up the comments of my brother Barry. You were talking earlier about the royal family. And I just called to remind you.
Graeme, you don't seem to have much of a Scottish accent.
Well, I don't have much of a life. I'm listening to this program, aren't I?
Oh, thank you very much for your call, Graeme. And our next caller now, Willie from Belfast. What's your point, please, Willie?
Well, Humphrey, I wanted to talk about the National Health Service. Quite frankly, I'd like to touch on Virginia Bottomley. I wondered if you knew whether or not on your 65th birthday they're going to return all my samples.
Well, that's interesting, Willie from Belfast. We have 45 minutes left in the programme now. Finally, we have Tim from Cardiff, who was brought up in Australia by German parents. Tim.
Oh, hi, the news. I came via Scotland, and it's nice to have beep, 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 beep.
Next round is called Innovations, and as the name might imply, it requires the teams to come up with something innovative. By the law of averages, I suppose it had to happen eventually. It's hard to open a newspaper or credit card statement these days and not see one of those small catalogues advertising all manner of apparently useful gadgets. Now it's come to my attention that these publications are on the lookout for new ideas and have already asked the teams to contribute something completely inventive. So far, all they've produced is a timetable for Network Southeast and Barry Cryer's tax return. So, teams, time to do better now and describe for us some exciting new inventions that you consider might be of interest to the people of the Innovations catalogue. Tim, I want you to start.
You could buy a solar-powered Swiss Army toothpick. 8 picks for all size of gap. Or video minus. Quick while you're behind, Tim. Video minus. Just tap in a few numbers and Video Minus will turn off the television just as the programme gets exciting.
Thank you, Tim. Barry, some innovations from you, please.
There's the new combined Kalashnikov and funnel for opening milk cartons. Reversible periscope for self-hemorrhoidectomy. Oh, dear.
Willie, how about you?
A waste disposal unit that sounds like Lloyd Grossman. They've done that already. You will not fail to thrill to the whistling dildo. A lot more fun than Ronnie Ronald, and admittedly not as much use as luminous car gloves. A bouncy Windsor castle. If you happen to have royal children. With inflammable west wing. And puncture outfit. Live dangerously. The Russian roulette, cigarette lighter and nasal hair remover. Oh, there goes my dildo.
Okay, and you, Graeme?
Well, there's the tabletop innovations catalogue shredder. Telephone ignoring machine. Or get rid of unsightly stains with a stealth bomber. Also works on Egham.
Well, there's a row of Chippendale coat hooks modelled by the popular group.
Well, we come to a round I call Sound Charades. If you're a big fan of the erstwhile TV programme Give Us a Clue, then you should really get out a bit more. Or try eating fresh fruit. The round is similar to the traditional game of charades. However, in our version, panellists will be permitted the use of their mouths. Each team should provide a charade of a book, play or film. The opposing team should then attempt to guess what it is. And the first charade, which Barry and Graeme will have to guess, will now be displayed on the megabyte mainframe satellite-cum-laser display board that the theatre's so kindly provided. Listeners will have to make do with the mystery voice, which is coming up now.
Schindler's List. Schindler's List.
OK, Barry and Graeme, you're going to guess. Tim and Willie, stand by to perform your charade. Is it a book, a film, or a play?
Well, it's actually a film, but there's a book with a similar name, and it's 2 words. And it goes something like this. 4 pounds mince, some tomatoes, 4 dozen eggs, 2 white sliced, and a pint of milk.
Very good. Why are you leaning over like that?
Because I am pissed.
Oh.
Is that it?
A rhyming slang charade.
Right, Barry and Graeme?
Call me by name.
Oh, yes.
You've got to try and guess that.
Shopping connotation, obviously. Drawing up one's requirements.
Yes.
In a possibly drunken state, in a rhyming slang context.
As in Brahms.
As in Brahms. Farewell to Brahms? No.
I think they know it.
No, not at all.
Brahms and Schindler, I think.
It's no good asking me. The last film I saw was The Lives of a Bengal Dancer. Barry and Graeme, you're going to perform a charade now, and you're going to guess Tippy and Will. So here's the charade going up on the laser board, and here's the mystery voice for you at home.
The piano. The piano.
Barry and Graeme, is it a film? What? Book?
No, it's a film, and 2 words.
Ah.
Right, here we go. Barry, settle down. Here. You know that Colin Sell?
Yeah.
What's he playing at?
Okay.
Well, it's obviously not the piano.
So he's wrong and he loses points for saying that.
There wasn't a piano in Lives of a Bengal Dancer.
There was in the pit in front of the screen when you went.
Okay, we've gone to the next round. Our next round flies in the face of the many chart-topping wireless programs that have transferred to television. For in this round, teams, I'd like you to reverse the process by recreating for the listeners our own version of my favourite program, Countdown. Although obviously it's hard to envisage quite how you'll match up to the speed and feverish pace of the original. For those unfamiliar with the game, the object is for the teams to create as many words as they can from a random collection of letters provided for them. So, as our own Samantha now takes on the mantle of Carol Vorderman, I can see the letters coming up and I'll read them out as she puts them up. They are G, G,
Who?
G.
Is that another G?
G.
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 4 Gs. Z. B, Q, Y.
Indeed.
And, oh dear, G again.
I suppose it's too late to ask for a vowel.
Okay, we'll stop it. Start the clock, but as Colin Sell doesn't know the music for this one, to play through the 30 seconds there, he's never up by 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to do it for him. Okay, start now. Da 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 da
Bless his heart.
He's counting you in.
Oh.
Okay.
Thanks, Willie.
Right, teams.
It doesn't just whistle.
There's no such thing as a free Willie.
Right. We shall, of course, teams, as you come up with your words, we shall check them with the dictionary, and our guardian of the dictionaries is the very distinguished Sir Alec Guinness. Now,
Most kind.
starting with you. Okay, Barry.
Sit next to me, Alec.
Barry, do you have a word, and how many letters?
Well, there's one obvious one, but it's not enough
How many letters is it?
Well, the obvious one is 4 letters, but we'll go for something more ambitious than that, I think.
Right, okay.
Any thoughts, Graeme?
I got a 12-letter one.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think, Sir Alec, I don't think we're allowed 12 letters, are we?
Oh, sod it.
See if you can do any better, Tim and Willie.
We've got 11 words here.
I've got
2 silent P's.
I've got a
Birdie,
novel by Geoffrey Archer. I suppose the 9-letter word
This is the sound made by a South American water vole.
Just a moment, we'll just refer to our dictionary.
Ah.
Yes, Tim, it's in the dictionary.
Ah.
And it's exactly as you described it, so you're the winner of that round. We're going to go on to the next round, which is called Censored Songs. On a recent visit to my newsagent, I was appalled by the proliferation of smutty and salacious material. As a protest, I resolved to buy my monthly edition of Health and Efficiency elsewhere. Now, I'd like you, please, teams, to sing a selection of songs by an artist of my choosing, but taking care to censor out, using the in-house buzzer system, any words liable to offend our more sensitive listeners. You'll be accompanied on the piano by Colin Sell, who tells me that he is, in fact, an expert in his field. If only he'd stay there. Frightening the cows. Barry and Graeme, you're going to start now, and I'd like you, please, to censor a selection of some of the smuttier work of the Beatles.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. And with a like that, you know you should be glad. We all in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all aboard, many more of them next door. And the band begins to... What would you do if I... Lend me your... And I'll try not to. Oh, I get by with a little from my friends. I get high with a little from my friends. I'm gonna with a little help from my friends.
Very tasteful. Tim and Willie, I'd like you to censor a selection of Walt Disney songs.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off we go. Zippity, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful... Two times. Someday my will come. Someday my love, and how thrilling that moment will be when the prince of my dreams, me. I saw a peanut stand, heard a rubber band. I saw a needle that winked its eye. But I think I will see now everything when I see an elephant.
But as we approach the end of the show, I noticed that Time's winged chariot is waiting to depart. Time's winged horse is ready to go, and luckily Time's winged bucket and shovel is handy. Before we go, teams, it's just time for a quick round of Butcher's Film Club. In this round, teams, I'd like you to suggest some titles of films likely to be popular with an audience of butchers. And we'll start with you, whoever.
Well, one of the greatest butchers of all time is going to star in this new film. It's Laura Bobbitt. Laura, Mrs. Bobbitt in Free Willy.
Let's get Jurassic Pork out of the way.
How about the good, the bad, and the awful?
Butcher Cassidy and the Sundance Kidneys.
Starring Poulet Newman and Rabbit Redford.
Hazlitt Mince of Denmark. Or the short version, Cutlet. Who Framed Roger Giblet?
Abattoir and Costello in Brawn Free. The Great Escalade Op.
3 loins and a fountain.
Conan the Vegetarian. The Cook, the Beef, His Wife and Her Liver.
You only liver twice?
Coupled with Never Say Heifer Again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen...
The Darktown Pig Strutter's Ball.
Pork Pie, the Sailor Man.
Tom Shanks in Pig.
Well, they do say that time flies when you're having fun, and to prove it, I noticed my sundial has stopped. So that's all for now. Join us again next week. In the meantime, from the teams and myself, goodbye.
Tim Brooke-Taylor, Barry Trier, Graeme Garden and Willie Rushton were being given silly things to do by Humphrey Lyttleton, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music. The programme was produced by John Naismith.